G'day mates, how you going? Todd Kramer here, welcome back to the Offstage Acting Podcast. Today's guest is a powerhouse, Kym Jackson, Aussie actor, author of the Hollywood Survival Guide, and one-time stage performer who has landed roles across the globe. Kym kicked things off in Australia where she was raised, then made the leap to LA in 2004, and from there, she's booked a string of memorable gigs. You might recognize her from Criminal Minds, NCIS Los Angeles, This Is Us, and SWAT. On the film side, she's starred in Snitch alongside Dwayne Johnson, Iron Sky, The Devil's Dolls, and most recently, the thriller, We Bury the Dead, which we talk about on the show. We dive into her transition from the Aussie stage to the Hollywood screen, balancing an acting career with her marriage to fellow actor Andrew Steele, and navigating motherhood. Kym also shares incredible insights for actors, from surviving self-tapes to launching her secret actor society, and even teasing a secret actor project she's working on. Here's a clue, it's not actually a secret. And yes, Jay jumps in with a few curveballs and laughs. So with all three of us running our big mouths, it makes for a really rowdy roundtable. So settle in, get ready for honest career talk, actionable advice, laughs, and a peek behind the scenes with an actor who's doing it all. Here's Kym Jackson. Let's get this party started.
We pray.
As usual.
As usual.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Offstage Acting Podcast.
Woo-hoo, welcome.
It's a pleasure to have you with us.
It really is. Thank you for listening.
We've got an exciting episode for you today.
Ooh, promising.
Yeah. We're going to go to a land we've not gone to before.
Oh, is that right?
Well, sort of.
Oh, okay.
Right here on the Offstage Acting Podcast with myself, Todd Kramer, and Jay Reum.
Hello, hello. We'll see how long Jay Reum is here, because, oh boy, is his computer unhappy. I think it's
today.
Their time of the month or something. I don't know.
We did have a few technical problems with Jay's computer. We do this thing remotely. We bring in Jay remotely. We bring in our guests remotely. I'm remote, but that's another story. So you'll have to bear with us. We might have a technical glitch or two here as we move along.
You know what? I fully blame the heat. That's
it might be the heat
say right now.
Could be
I love the heat, but maybe my babe, the computer, doesn't. How are you feeling about it? Are you a heat guy? Are you a warm guy? Are you a sun guy?
I'm a sun worshiper. I'm like a lizard.
You're a sun.
I am
also a lizard.
I'm a cold-blooded guy.
Oh my gosh, we're the same.
Oh my
so
god.
So little of us out there. Everyone
so few of us.
So few of us. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Mom. So few of us. Everyone
else.
else.
I was your mom.
I
wish I was your mom.
Yeah.
Because if I was, you wouldn't be wearing that shirt to start with.
Oh my god, that's funny, because my mom would say something. She wouldn't.
I know.
She wouldn't. She'd be like, "Oh, is that a new shirt?"
I'm a Southern California kid, and I also grew up part of my life in Florida, South Florida, Deerfield Beach, Florida, and Oceanside, California. So, you do the maths.
Heat. That's what you're saying.
And beaches and ocean, yeah.
But so many people I've met that are from warm places, because they have AC, because warm places have AC,
right.
They're even less accustomed to the heat. At least I've noticed, it seems. But
I'll tell you.
Hello, lizard.
Thank you. Yeah, hello. How are you? What's going on? I haven't talked to you in a little while.
Yeah, it has been a while, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What's been going on? Going good. Been doing a lot of jobs on Mandy.
Oh yeah,
yeah, Mandy. Yeah, I've done a couple of
hustling on Mandy, huh?
Yeah, that's right. I did a commercial thing that lasted 2 days. I did a third thing. Oh, I did a comedy shoot, but this was from someone I'd worked with before. And then just 2 days ago, I did my first yoga lesson. They filmed me doing yoga.
Really?
For some hotel chain. So if any of their most likely elderly patrons want to get active in their hotel room, they have me teaching them yoga.
Boy.
Yeah. So.
That's amazing. That's amazing. There's
It was
nothing.
good,
There's
okay? I
literally
had a
nothing
great-
you won't do for $1.
I mean, mostly for food. I
Yeah,
will do
well, that
many things in
translates.
a buck. It's food, but food. Yeah. Food is my
You'll work for food?
definitely my weakness.
Man, you really are.
Absolutely, I've done many things for food. Todd.
Starving
I've sung
actor.
at a. No. I did in New York City. I sung at. Oh my gosh, what's the TGI Fridays?
I sang.
I stood up on my seat and sang a song to the whole restaurant because some random person invited me out to lunch and was like, "Oh, sing for me," and blah 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 blah, and I did, and he paid for my lunch, and then he was like, "Oh, let's go somewhere else," and I was like, "No."
Random person. I get it.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. These are stories that
I could explain
on.
more. To be honest, I could explain more, but it's gonna take up time and space.
Yeah.
How are
we don't
you?
have to- I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, been keeping busy myself. Lots going on. I won't go all into it, but there's some excitement on the horizon for Todd Kramer, work-wise, and yeah, I got paid on some jobs recently, so that's always
Oh my
exciting. Don't you love that? When it, like cha-ching, the bank account starts blowing up, and you're like, oh, finally those jobs. Doesn't it feel good? That's like the total working. And I'll remind you of a time that you wouldn't know of, actually, but maybe
No.
our guest will remember.
Ah.
There's we used to call it money in the mail or mailbox money, which was when, you know what I'm talking about, right?
In the mailbox. Do people still use mailboxes these days?
Well, the checks would come. You would do a commercial back in the day, let's say, and then all of a sudden, 2 years later, boom, you'd get like a check for, I don't know, let's say $1,100 or something because they picked it up again, and
I
that's
see.
just
They renewed.
they renewed. You got your residual payment,
Wow.
or you got your buyout again. So just money, mailbox money, where you had already done the job.
Joy. What
You were paid
joy.
on the job. You got your money, and then a year, 2 years later, 5 years later, boom, check in the mail, and you just open it and go, oh, yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Check from your like a letter from your agent that looks like a check with a little window, and you just go, oh, sweet, what's this?
Wow.
Yeah, those were good times.
Christmas. That's a kid opening.
It's like a little
up a present
Christmas,
at
yeah.
Christmas.
You're like, oh, man, I don't believe it. I just got my rent paid for like 3 months on this gig.
Wow.
And you know, that happened to me several times, many times, back when they were mailing checks and stuff. So
Who's the Santa for mailboxes? Because that's a gift from Santa right there.
well, it was a gift from SAG.
From SAG.
So ask me who today's guest is, please.
Oh, okay. Todd, who is today's guest?
Oh my God, I'm so glad you asked.
Oh my gosh.
We've got an amazing guest. Her name's Kym Jackson.
Okay.
We're going down under.
Dan Under.
Down
All
under,
right.
mate. Yeah. Can I have a lot of this? I'm gonna be I'm gonna be doing this now.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to that, but I am looking.
I heard
forward
you
to
like
it.
the Australian accent,
I
mate.
do. I love it.
How you
I think
going?
It's my favorite.
I think she's originally from England, but she grew up or
Oh.
lives in Bath. We're gonna find out everything about her. Then her husband's an actor. She lived in LA for a long time. Now they're in Atlanta, which is, as you know, a big acting hub. So we're gonna find out a lot. They're doing a ton of great stuff. She wrote a book. She's running a project for actors.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, really an amazing individual, as far as I can tell. But we'll sort that out. Let audiences decide.
You're like 46 for 46. I don't know how many episodes
get
you've had, but
we
you've
do
got
get a-
100% success rate with
100%.
guests, so I bet she's awesome. This is fun.
This is fun. Let's check out her show reel, and then let's get to know Kym Jackson. Kym Jackson, how you going? How you going, mate? She can. Everybody hates.
Yeah.
I love doing the bad Australian accent.
Yes.
Here we go.
It sounds all like sexy and dangerous.
I've got no roots, but my home,
Some nerve. You got some fucking nerve asking me for money.
but my home was never on the ground. I got no roots.
She's coming with us. She's coming with no.
Copyright infringement for the song.
Thank you, dear.
That's a great intro opening to the show reel.
Your job is to record interviews, Miss Levin.
And your job is to help these people. I mean, what about your constituents at home? I mean, they believe their families are being held captive by Jones.
American
Leave my
accent.
constituents to me.
And Jones?
His people give him nothing but praise.
Well, he's avoiding us. Is it true?
Sarah, please.
If it's true, you tell me.
Sarah,
Did Lou's freak son shoot Byron?
go home to your kids, Sarah.
You find that little son of a bitch. You find him and do what's right.
Sarah. Language.
It's $500.
More southern. She do
I don't
southern
ever
accent.
want to see you again.
Sounds
Don't
good.
you come near us, near me or North. You leave us alone, okay?
For $500, yeah.
That is the deal. You take it or leave it.
He's gonna take the money, isn't he? That deadbeat.
I hope everything goes real good for you, Wyatt. I really do.
Mr. Tough Guy.
I never said I was tough.
Or a guy.
Oh, you look pretty tough to me.
What happens now?
We go home.
It's a
We
beautiful
make an
show,
exclusive.
How you doing?
Better. Much better.
Mm.
Can't even feel anything anymore.
I was there asking questions about bushmeat. No one would answer me, so I started poking around.
They thought you were stealing.
Because they're hiding something.
Haven't
I
heard-
served my country for almost 20 years, and they threw me out like garbage. I couldn't even get benefits. They owed me. So I made them pay.
I feel the earth move under my feet.
Sasha, come to mommy now.
I feel the sky tumbling.
Tell me where he is.
No, Russia.
We got local PDs responding to shots fired.
You know, you should check out this new stuff we just got in. Space Case Sativa. You smoke it, you don't even know who you are anymore. It's called instant brain death.
You just said it was called Space Case Sativa.
No, it's called instant brain death.
I'll see you at home.
Oh, no. You made promises. You have an obligation.
Name one.
I'm pregnant. You better decide what you're gonna do about that.
Ooh.
Daddy.
There's
We just
one.
go from planet to planet, becoming a new person with everyone you visit, never having to live the same life twice.
I can feel it coming, we can never go back.
Mama,
You always a terrorist?
who believe you,
Oh.
bastard?
Prime warheads on secondary armament.
The
Why
play
are
of the
you
law.
still standing here?
That's getting ready for work?
I have to be able to tell the customers what kind of high they're gonna get.
I haven't heard an Australian accent yet, have you?
Yeah.
It's all American.
When she was head with the bandana.
Oh, that was the one. Woo! Anyway, what amazing.
Wow.
Oh, what a
Never seen this symbol before.
what a
That was
what a
excellent.
show reel. What a show reel. Here we go. Here she is. Kym Jackson.
Really well crafted, Kim. How long did that was amazing.
Well,
we
it
watched-
took my entire career to make it. Mark Diamore at, I think it's LA Media Reels. I was just Googling it as I was watching it. 'cause I was
Really?
like, I haven't talked to him in a while, but yeah, he cut that. He's amazing. And you just send them all of your footage from like, you know, for me at the time, it was probably like, I don't know, 40 or something projects that his team, they pull footage, they kind of massage it. And I'm sure it's LA Media Reels. I have to double check this.
Double check. We'll put the link in the show notes.
Yeah, please, because
sure.
he's amazing, and I'm actually about to. And by the way, my advice as a career strategy coach is that demo reel is way too long.
It's too long.
It is too long, and I need to fix it. So yeah, it's.
What's
yeah.
the I say it's under 3 minutes.
I say if you don't have network and studio level credits, it should be under like 2.5 as a maximum,
Right.
and then you split it to comedy drama, which is literally on my to-do list. I'm finishing up some back end stuff with Secret Actor Society, setting some like automated stuff up this week, and next week my next goal is to redo that demo reel.
Nice, yeah. But I'll tell you what, I was watching it and I thought, because I've done a lot of other demo reels for friends. I'm a video editor myself. I've been cutting my own reels for, I don't know, 15, 20 years, as long as I've been having had footage to work with. And I learned pretty early. I mean, originally, you know, the reel was 7 minutes, and I'm like, oh, you want to include?
7?
Well, you know, it was the early days. Nobody even was looking at reels. It was just like, yeah, put something on YouTube, and
It
then you
arrived on a VHS tape when.
yeah, those days, yeah, almost like that. Like here's my cassette. I was handing out DVDs at one point, yeah. for sure.
Yeah, I mailed
But
out like 80 DVDs to agents, and none of them got
none
back
of them
to
got
me,
back to you.
except a lit agent. Then we ended up like working on one of my
Oh, that's
scripts.
all right. Yeah.
That's so
But that was,
fun.
there was a time when you did that. But to get just to put a little cherry on top of this topic for a minute before we get all in, the show reel, the common inclination by most actors is to like put themselves, the whole scene, and then themselves with like the known face celebrity actor that they had a little scene opposite, and then they put all of their scene with Brad Pitt, and then they go, more coffee. And then they cut back to Brad doing his whole thing. And it's like, okay, we get it. You had a scene with Brad Pitt technically or whatever, but that's not really you acting, You just need the more coffee part, if anything. So that was always the inclination, was to like cut in or do the whole thing. This is all me. Whereas what you did was perfect, or what your friends did who cut it is perfect, which is just the best bit of you showing what you can do in a character. I can play this, I can play that, I can play a range, right? And I'm sure that's the kind of thing you do when you do your coaching.
Indeed. Well, I don't do a lot of one-on-one coaching these days. I kind of limit that because I realized that I actually, when I'm like sitting one-on-one and I'm like spouting out gold to like one actor, and I'm like, damn it, I should be recording this for all of the people. And so for me, I started getting really frustrated with that as I was saying the same sort of thing in different variation, over and over. And that's why I ended up teaching the Journey Masterclass series, which the acting union in Australia brought me in to teach this series. So as I was teaching it for them and they were paying me to teach it, I made sure I spoke in very broad terms as though I was teaching it to an international, like a USA mainly audience, knowing then that they were fine with me utilizing it as the Masterclass series. Because then it literally was just a download of everything that I would usually teach in these one-on-one sessions that ended up being super expensive because my time, the value on my time, and people. So literally the idea was, hey, how can I make that more accessible to people so more people can access like what I've learned over the past 20 years without having to pay for my time and without me having to then give my time in a one-on-one setting. So that's the idea of digitizing all the classes. No,
it's genius. Well, let's talk about it quickly because you're doing Secret Actor Society. I was also doing kind of coaching one-on-one as well, and then that's why I started the podcast, for example, was because it was like, these are golden nuggets. What am I,
totally. Right? It's just repeating yourself. You're like, I said this to 3 people this week. Why is this happening?
I should just get it out there and tell everybody and anybody who wants to get, and then if they want to book me for one-on-ones, they can just pay a premium. The big bucks come in. All right. But tell us about the project anyway. How long have you been doing it? Secret Actor Society.
Oh, Secret. The timing of this is really funny because actually, that's probably why I'm talking to you. But we've been building it for 5 years and it's kind of evolved as initially it was just informational. So it was like we brought in 25 of the smartest friends that I have, like the ex-vice president of SAG, and some of the biggest thought leaders in the industry, in the actor education industry, to talk on topics. Well, so basically what happened is I booked a pilot as the Queen of the Vikings, and it was like a $14 million ABC pilot. My contract was millions of dollars. The first season was supposed to be like 70-something million dollars. It was going to be massive right before COVID. The pilot didn't get picked up, but while I was on set, I remember thinking I remember doing the math and being like, oh, my hourly on this pilot is like, 10 times more than, what I'm charging for coaching. And I thought, I'm going to forget. Because when I want to be able to, I was thinking I want to be able to focus on scaling my career from here up. I don't want to be then like teaching and I'm going to forget all the hustle. And you need to still be in the thick of the hustle to really be able to teach it, I think. And so because otherwise you just forget. Your brain, if you're not using something regularly, the neural pathways just get cleared out and you forget. And so I started going, okay, well, I just need to record everything that I know. And then as I recorded everything I know, I was like, oh, I don't know everything. There's so many things I don't know. And so that's when I was like, I got to bring in all my really smart friends. So like David Lawrence does, he's a master at voiceover stuff. Ben runs Working.Actor and obviously vice president of SAG. Asia Ray Coleman does, the table, and she's really good with mindset stuff and strategy and just being like nurturing and supporting and all these different people. Amy Walker came in to talk accents. We had like 25 experts. And then we started also interviewing casting directors because COVID hit. The pilot didn't get picked up.
Right.
COVID hit. And then all of a sudden we were like, oh, all these casting directors aren't doing anything right now. They're so busy usually. Like we're trying to get them in for interviews now. They do come in, but when what we did, we sat down and we wrote a list of the top 100 casting directors in the world, Academy Award and Emmy level casting directors. We had like a list of 400 and we whittled it down to 100. Andrew emailed 100 and literally 25 of them said yes through COVID. We were like, that's not, jeez. We have to email like 10 people now to get one in. Yeah. And so they all came in and we got to talk to literally the casting director, the Lord of the Rings, The Help, like Victoria Burrows, Kerry Barton, like every amazing top casting director there is. And it was great for us because we got to chat with them, like Josh Einstein, who hired me on This Is Us, and really, really great people, Anya Koloff. And so bringing them in and getting to like ask them these incredible questions. And they're the questions that they're not just random questions. They're the questions that I see actors asking in Q&As when I do a panel. Yeah. They're the questions that they ask me in coaching sessions, but they're not just hearing it from me, because what we found was, and this is what the problem is when you have one coach or when you have one expert that's giving you information, what we found was there were different perspectives and also completely contradicting or contrasting perspectives coming in from people. And we were like, shit, like you actually, darn, you actually do have to, listen to more than one person and then just go with your gut, go with what resonates for you. And so that was the idea of the site, was that I don't know everything. None of my experts know everything. None of us do. So listen to as many of us as you can, and then just take what suits you. And so this is what I'm saying. Initially it was informational. So we put up all this stuff on the digital platform. It was, it was just classes. But ultimately it started feeling like there was just all this information and all these short videos, because we did it so that most of the videos were about 2 minutes, except for the casting director interviews where it was more of a get to know you. And then we asked them business questions and chopped those up. And then we were like, oh, you know what? We feel disconnected from our members. And so then we started doing monthly coachings, and then we started doing them every 2 weeks, like group coachings where everyone could get together. And that's been so cool because, I mean, it's great because I also learn, it's not just me telling them, oh, gee, this is how I think you should do it. It's other people jumping in going, oh, hey, actually, I just did that. And this is the strategy I used and this is how it works. And so it's been a really amazing collaboration. It's really motivating for me as an actor that's maybe a little bit further along in my career, that I can go, oh yeah, I used to do that when I had no credits. Imagine how well it'll work now that I have credits. Right. And so then you go, well, if this is working for people with no credits, the people with credits, I'm telling you right now, my friends that are working are not doing this stuff. And so people get to a certain point and they go, plateau. Oh, I don't want to look like, I want to look unavailable. And your agent and manager are always trying to make you look like, the $1,300 a day actor. They don't want you looking like you're hustling and you're available. But then what happens is I have friends at the top agencies who are sitting there and they'll come off a show as a series reg and they won't work for 3 or 4 years. Right. Because they're trying to look unavailable. Whereas really what they should be doing is the hustle, reaching out to their casting contacts every time they book a job, especially something like that, saying, hey, this is my hiatus period. If any indies come up that are over 2 million or whatever, I'd love to stay in the game and keep doing stuff that's really gritty while I'm on this fluffy series or while I'm on this procedural. And so like, there's so many things that people don't think to do. And I think the perspective that I have from having friends at every level is seeing how much the strategies that work for people starting out can still work for people at the top. And also people starting out getting past their fear and knowing that it is okay to take some action. Anyway, so then we realized after all these coachings and stuff that people really need to meet casting. I was like, I'm answering all these questions. Our other coaches are answering questions, and wouldn't it be great if the casting directors came in and answered those questions? So we added a gold tier because obviously, you know, we're paying the casting directors to come in for their time, as they should be compensated. And they come in and they meet, you know, they meet the actors. They don't have to perform. They don't have to perform scenes. We do like a thing where you afterwards, you can send your headshot and resume and reel, and the casting directors are really engaging with that spreadsheet. And then they just sit and have a chat like they've met them at a party, and it's rad and it's so good, and we're loving it. So that Secret Actor Society now is informational, the masterclass series, the twice a month coaching, and the and these great casting director sessions. And as soon as we scale, as soon as we have more members, we will bring in casting directors much more regularly. Right now, they're coming in once a month.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, this is still so cool, really cool.
Yeah, and we've kept it. It's so cheap. Like it's like everyone's like, how is it that cheap? We're like, well,
how much is it?
We're not exactly. Well, at the moment, the gold level's $249 a year, and that's where you get to meet all the casting directors and everything. Silver levels where you don't meet casting, but you get everything else, like the monthly coachings, and that's $169 a year USD. And then the one where you could just look at videos, where you can watch the master classes and everything. Now, the masterclasses are $100 each to buy for life. The actual just watch videos section is only $100 a year at the moment.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's very reasonable. It's less
we
than
just
20.
want it to be accessible. Actors,
they
have so many places to. I would rather they spend their money on craft and hopefully refer in a couple of friends so that, you know, we get, because, you know, for us, we're like, if we can help more people for less money. And that's the thing. That's the 5-year build I'm finishing this week. Is I've been building it all in a way where it's completely automated, and I don't need to be. I know that we don't need a staff member to be involved in most of the steps. Obviously, I have a content manager working 40 hours a week, but other than her, literally the whole company is almost on autopilot, and then I can just come in for the coachings, and the casting people can just come in for the coachings. That's why we can keep the price down. Yeah. But it's taken me 5 years to build that without startup funding. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm aware of what it takes to kick a project off.
Dude, if you see me passed out somewhere by a pool on my Instagram, that's why. Because I'm dead.
And you have a new baby, right?
Because I died. Well, he's 3.5, but yeah, new baby.
That's totally. Well, I mean,
it's newish.
3.5 is still like not quite independent. So you,
dude, 3.5 is an anarchist. He took his shirt off in daycare the other day, and during nap time, got all the other kids or three
swinging
other kids to take their shirts off and ran around the room with their shirts off.
Was he going, Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi?
We got like a big warning, and so now he's like, I just like at 3.5, he's in trouble.
They don't do that down Atlanta. Hey.
He pulled the fire alarm in our building 2 days ago.
Oh, snap.
He's that kid.
How does he reach the fire alarm?
Oh, it's for some reason at 3-year-old level. It's at like hip height.
Oh.
It's accessible.
Yeah, but I'm so proud of him. And P.S., he's a really good actor. He had his first audition the other day. And
really?
He nailed it.
Nice.
Yeah, he memorized his lines. I didn't know my lines. I read it with him like 5 times and he knew his lines. And I was like, I don't know them. How is that fair?
That's incredible.
I'm giving you less healthy food, child.
Yeah, right. More fish fingers and
expensive. We're gonna deep fry some stuff.
Deep fried fish fingers for you, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Slow down, son. I'm the performer around here. Yeah. Spotlight's on me, buddy. So yeah, exactly. If there's gonna be a spotlight.
Yeah.
So walk us through the where did you start? Was I right that you were born in Bath?
I was born in Bath.
I looked that
or is
up.
It Bath? I don't know. Are you guys in England?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we're in England.
Yeah, because you've both got British agents and American accents. It's very confusing.
That's right. Yes.
It's kind of
jolly good. Yes.
Well,
so as an Aussie in our home country, working more than we are.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, oh yes. What do you think about it? Taking and not even speaking in their native accent.
That's a good point.
An English woman.
A British woman.
British woman living in Australia.
A British woman in Australia, in Atlanta, of all places.
A palm, and then she goes to America and does well. And I mean, it's just outrageous. Yeah, our story is well, tragic in a way, but unique. No, my story is tragic. Jay's got an awesome story. Jay's a young, awesome guy who came here to study. He came here to study at Lambda and never left, and they can't get rid of him for some reason. They keep trying to chuck him out, but they fail.
Is your story tragic based on the story or based on the result?
Oh!
But the jury's still out.
Oh, that
It's
was funny,
but
Kym.
yeah,
I had to say it.
there's that Aussie humor. So when did you move to Oz? How
When
old
I
were
was
you?
3, I
Okay.
don't remember it very clearly.
Right.
Yeah,
So
I
you are Australian.
I'm
'Cause
Aussie. I
most-
also moved to Queensland, which is like the most ochre,
Mm.
into Logan, which by the way is
Dear
where the
God.
word bogan comes from, and everyone was just like stealing cars and
Yeah,
making
that's
mischief.
like, yeah, when you see like an Aussie movie about like the grimy parts.
What's that big one? Animal Kingdom. That's
Yeah,
kind of
that's
that's
what I was
based in
thinking of.
Melbourne, but I came from like the Queensland equivalent of that energy.
Yeah, that energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
an old romper stomper style. Yeah.
If I was in Australia still in Logan, if I hadn't left Logan, like if I'd gotten like a teen pregnancy and never been able to move overseas or
Right.
some kind of criminal record and couldn't come to America, I would probably still be in a Logan running I'd be a kingpin of some form. It's not
I
that.
see
It's
that.
not like that. It's like suburbia.
It's like the
but everyone just
Bradford
goes-
of England. Yeah, we get it.
But it's rad. It's really pretty.
Where's Russell Crowe from? He seems like he's probably like he's a
some edge.
true.
I gotta tell you, I don't know if he's a Kiwi or something. I can't remember, but I think we claimed one of them. I don't
What
know.
about
I
Kate
don't know.
Blanchett? Do you know? Do you just list all of the?
We just
actors
start
and
naming
actresses
all the
from
Australians.
Oz?
now.
Where are they from, Kym?
But there is a whole thing. I'm going to be honest with you. There's a whole thing. The Aussies, if you're doing well in Australia, the first thing you want to do is get the hell out. Right?
Not anymore. Everyone's moving back, and
Are
everyone's
they?
moving
Okay.
back, and they're intentionally trying to bring work back to Australia because we do really care about our industry. Like,
Yeah.
and it takes an international name in order to for us to be able to finance films at a higher level because our government has an amazing thing where they will put 40%. They'll give you a 40% rebate, kind of like the Georgia rebate.
Canada will do the same. I
On
think.
any project, and then there's state rebates as well that are usually in the teens, and so you'll get 40% back from the federal government, the offset, and then somewhere in the teens, and then there's also another funding body called, I think it's Screen Australia, that will quite literally finance your film. So you could get the government offset from the federal government, funding from another government related organization, and then state rebates as well. So you really only need to find like 30 or 40% of your budget up front, and the rest comes through the rebates and the offset. So, and the funding, potential funding. So it's, if you can get overseas, get really successful and have a name, and then come back and bring international eyes on a project shot in Australia, it helps our economy and it helps obviously our industry economy as well.
Yeah.
So we're all very passionate about that. So you see a lot of Aussies going back, and if not starting production companies, at least making
Passion
sure that things are
projects.
produced there. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially, I guess, Austral-centric stories are.
Yeah,
key
they
to
don't. I
produce
mean,
and promote.
it's hard. They don't do as well overseas as that some of the breakout ones do. But yeah, it's a tough thing. Australia is really important that we maintain, if we're making an Australian movie, to maintain kind of like the voice and the energy and the tone of Australia. And I think a large part of that is the character, the landscape of Australia is a big character in every film that we do, and because it's so beautiful there. And I think Aussie films try to gentrify for the international market, and they don't quite have the development funding. So then a lot of the time, like the lower budget ones that are trying to gentrify will end up little, like either vanilla, or the script isn't developed enough, or and then the ones that actually have a decent budget and decent cast attached, sometimes they'll actually be able to have more of an international appeal, but it's not happening in the lower budget area because they just don't have the development fund.
Right.
But I guess that happens with a lot of low budget indies. So I don't know.
I mean, if we're talking Australia, there was a period where the Australian market was primarily, I remember as a kid, that you were getting a lot of the what was the term for it, the kind of horror Australian road movies, like Mad Max type. There was a genre.
Yeah.
The original Mad Max, that was a big like Aussie. And then Romper Stomper I mentioned too. That was another kind of the hard-edged, like this is like really graphic, low budget. That was all coming out of Oz for a long time.
Yeah.
But then great films come out. I really appreciated Dead Calm. Remember that movie? Jeez.
I can't watch scary movies.
Dead Calm, that's a great one.
I just did a zombie movie and I like.
Did you?
Just,
You couldn't even watch it yourself.
Training, but it was okay.
Can you be in them?
Yeah, I just did a zombie movie with Daisy Ridley that's coming out, so I'm going to be like
Ooh.
watching
Very
it and
cool.
talking about it a lot in the
Wow.
next.
What's that called?
6 months. It's called We Bury the Dead, and it's so good. It's just a beautiful. Zach Hilditch, the director, is such a visionary. Like he has really unique takes. He did this amazing film called These Final Hours, and the premise was that an apocalypse basically has happened on the top of the earth, and there's only 24 hours as this wall of flame engulfs the entire planet, and they're hearing on the radio, oh, Japan's gone, USA's gone, and they're just gone. So it's literally, what would you do in the last 24 hours if you were the last place on earth to survive? And he's got such a unique take. And so the premise of We Bury the Dead with Daisy and with Brenton Thwaites is that the USA, thanks guys. Oh wait, you're in England, so you don't.
You're welcome.
But the USA does some kind of military test off the coast of an island in Australia called Tasmania, which is a huge island with 500,000 people on it. Everybody dies, or everybody is wiped out, and so then they go. But they just are wiped out. It's like a sonic boom or something. They just die in the kitchen or in the shower or wherever, And then the military's like, well, we've got 500,000 bodies that are going to start decomposing. We need help immediately. We need civilian help. And so then they enlist people to come and help on the island.
Feed the zombies.
Yeah, zombies. No,
zombies are hungry.
They enlist people to come and help on the island and basically just pull bodies out of the houses, find their identification, put their ID on top of the body.
I knew Australia
and
had
on the side of the road.
a problem with supplying jobs to their citizens, but is it that bad? Is it really?
We have fantastic.
You got an unemployment rate there like that?
We have an exceptional.
Pay $6 Aussie dollars an hour, mate. No, I'm just kidding.
In Australia, minimum wage in Australia is like $30 an hour.
I'm joking. It's just a joke. It's in this. It's in the movie. It's not reality. Tasmania, really, nothing blew up.
It's amazing. So yeah. Anyway, Daisy's husband was on the island, and so she comes down from America. She's American in the film, and she comes down to. Are
you supposed to be giving all these spoilers away, by the way?
Well, this all happens in the first 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's giving
us. That's the first. Guys. It's a tight script.
That's the first 5 minutes. It's a lot for. Okay, it sounds great.
Yes. So that's just the first 5 minutes. And so she, basically she comes down to try to find her husband. It's a movie about a woman trying to, hearing that everyone's died and trying to deal with grief. And then as that happens, the bodies start coming back to life.
Oh, of course they do. And then time to pick up the axe. Dude, what do you play? You play a zombie or you play a...
I play a lieutenant. You won't recognize me. I actually had some friends at the premiere at South by Southwest this year, and they were like, oh, where were you? I saw you in the credits at like number 6 on the credit list, but were you like one of the zombies? And I was like, I was literally face in camera, but I play a character. I wouldn't let them put any, I talked with makeup and we decided not to put any makeup on me at all to make me look also to add, to make me look scary. They're like, do you want us to at least dye your eyelashes or do your eyebrows? I'm like, nothing.
Nothing.
I'm like, if I'm running
military
a zombie,
right?
Anti-zombie
military commando unit.
Well,
I wouldn't be. Makeup would be my last. I know.
Priority. I'm like, who's gonna have time to do makeup? I'm like, I want it to be authentic.
What an actor! Wow, she's really.
I love that.
I did not look hot though. If anyone out there is fantasizing about me in any way, do not watch this movie because it's gonna kill.
Unless that's what you're into.
You
don't know what people are into.
They will not be into this. I promise.
I'm trying to see if I can find a photo or something, but.
Nah, dude, there's no footage from it out there.
Not yet. Okay, so we'll be looking out for that. I love a zombie movie, me.
Mm-hmm.
So walk us through, for an actor, I want to hear your whole story really, but before I go all the way back, at what point do you decide, okay, I'm going to up sticks and LA is the place to be?
All right. Well, I'll try to
go.
give you the abridged version. This is a tale.
Aussies.
In my brain, I decided that
Everything's
the Cannes
a
Film
tale.
Festival. In my brain, when I was 22, I decided that the Cannes Film Festival was I was like, I'm going to go to Cannes. I'm going to meet a filmmaker. I'm going to get a job in Hollywood. And so
I'm an actress.
Literally, I went to Cannes. First day I was there, walking along the street. this rad car drives past, and everyone's French, right? So I'm just like, no
C'est
way, that looks like the
magnifique.
Batmobile. Like, to myself out loud for
Right.
some reason. And this little older dude is like, oh, you like that? I got one of those in Hollywood. No way, you're from Hollywood?
I'm an actress.
Wow.
I'm going to Hollywood. Did you have your rucksack on your back and everything?
I had baggy jeans. I had no dresses. I didn't know how to dress nicely.
Hair and pigtails.
Yeah, totally. I didn't know how to-
Naive written on across your forehead.
And I was probably, because I'd grown up in Logan, so I was in baggy. So I'm like, I was probably more like, oh, no way, mate. You're
No
from
way,
Hollywood.
Hollywood.
I'm trying to tell the story so I sound really cute, but I was not cute.
I get the
man.
picture.
Like,
I think we got the
I was a
image.
dude.
The Australian backpacker goes to Cannes
Yeah.
with
Pretty much.
Birkenstocks and baggy jeans and maybe feathers in your hair or some kind of beading in the hair or something.
Baggy jeans. So the style that's in right now with the baggy jeans and the tank tops? I
Yes.
wore that way longer than it was in fashion. So I would only wear baggy jeans and tank tops.
Back in
for, like,
fashion now, so
years.
you're safe.
But I haven't been wearing
25
it. I need
years
to
later.
get it. I need to get on it. So anyway, I end up like chatting with him and he's like, I've got a premiere tonight. You want to come? I was like, sweet, I'd love to. I come to the premiere. I meet his business partner, who's the filmmaker that was making his films. He turns out to be a financier. And we get along really well. She's still my best friend. We text every day. He, on the other hand, I haven't spoken to in probably 18 years. So I'm chatting with them, get along really well with them. They leave a day or two later on their private plane. And I end up I'm like, I want a job in Hollywood. And he's like, yeah, cool, great. Reach out. Here's my card. I get back to Australia and I'm bartending. And I literally was just like dying. Like I got back and I just had this urge, like everything was exploding out of my body. Like I have to get out of here. Right. I have to get out. And so I call him and he doesn't answer. His receptionist keeps saying, no, he's busy. No, he's busy. Turns out he owns a bank. No, he's busy. No, he's busy. So I call up from a private number and I'm like, hi, it's Jackie Long here. I met Mr. whatever his name is at, the Cannes Film Festival. And I'd like to buy his film. And, and literally she puts me through to him. I'm like, I'm from JL Distribution and I'd like to buy his film.
Jackie Long Distribution.
He gets on the phone. He's like, Jackie, hi. And I'm like, actually, it's Kym Jackson, the actress you met in Cannes. I want to come work for you. And he's like, well done.
You got through.
You got through. Literally, he's like, well, why should I hire you over 350 million Americans? And I was like, sorry, guys, no offense. But I was like, well, blah, blah, blah. And I did sort of a pitch. And then I said, I kind of did the angle of like, if you bring me over and you hire me, then you can train me up. It's hard to keep people once you train them up. So I will guarantee in writing that I will work for you for 5 years. I want to come out and be a PA and learn how to produce. I want to learn how to invest, like all the things that kind of catered to his ego. So anyway, I did this 6-page business proposal in between a double shift at the bar I was working. He's like, I want it on my desk tomorrow morning, 6 pages. And I'm like, okay. So I did this whole thing.
No chat GPT back then.
I'm like, I want you to put me through like martial arts training as an actor, like for my acting, like all of this stuff.
That's your business proposal.
It was so
find me a guest house somewhere in the Hollywood Hills.
Dude. So anyway, he's like, he calls me the next day. He's like, when can you be on a flight? We're going into production on the next film in a week or a week and a half or something. And I'm like, okay. But I didn't at the time, because I ditched a lot of school, even though I went to a very good private school, I didn't know where England was kind of and I was like, well, yeah, but I literally was so honest. I was like, I still am just too honest. I was like, I met this guy in England on my way back from Cannes and I want to tie up all my loose ends. So I really want to go see him on my way to America. So they paid to fly me to England so I can have 4 days with some college kid who was like super hot. And so I had 4 days at this frat house in England and then flew to Hollywood, got a company car, company apartment, BlackBerry at the time.
You what?
Literally like everything.
Company car, apartment.
They trained me up as a production assistant and as a personal assistant. I'm so lucky. Like that was such a dangerous, by the way, situation to go into. I'm so lucky I wasn't assaulted in any way.
I was gonna say like there was a lot.
But I was kind of, like I said, I was kind of a dude. And so he like tried to like, is it My Fair Lady or something? That one where he teaches her like etiquette.
Eliza Doolittle.
Yeah.
So I got in trouble
The
for
rain
showing
in
up.
Spain. You came with that Aussie accent. He's like, we can't work with that.
So I got in trouble for showing up at the private plane with my clothing in plastic garbage bags, like shopping bags. And my punishment was that I had to go to Toomey and buy a $2,000 luggage set with my petty cash. Like, it was crazy. And so I still have like Ralph Lauren clothes left over. It was insane. Anyway, that lasted about 6 months. I covered all his phones in stickers. Like, I was not good at this job. And so that lasted about 6 months. But what I did, what came from that obviously was that I had moved to America.
Yeah.
I'd been brought out. And then I was there. It kind of got me to cross the pond. And my friends at the time were the people from the films. And so like, it was people who had been working, people, there were a lot of series regs and people that were the ones that I kind of connected with while we were shooting, and the woman that ran the company. And so I developed this friendship circle there that were really lovely people. But every time I would ask them, how do I get started? They would say, oh, well, you just get an agent. I'm like, well, how do I get an agent? Well, your manager will refer you to an agent. I'm like, well, how do I get a manager? They're like, oh, well, you just get someone to refer you into a manager. And I'm like, well, okay, but how am I? Because, I didn't have any credits. They weren't going to do it. And so it ended up being a very like, oh, Hollywood's this thing that you kind of can't quite get to even when you're there, even when you're physically there. So I ended up, after I left that company, I was only there for 5 or 6 months. I ended up living in a storage room for 3 months. And while I was in that storage room, I started luckily doing auditions and stuff at New York Film Academy. And I ran into, in the hallway, there were all these actors doing scenes. And I was like, oh my gosh, are you guys in a class? And they were like, yeah. And luckily I had said that to the woman that ran the class. And she's like, come by after your audition and you can audition. And you can audition for us. Yeah. I did the audition for them. And then she told me it was $40 it turned out to be a casting workshop of all things.
Wow.
Thank goodness. And, it was $40 per workshop, and I was like, I can't afford it. Like,
that's more than I pay my storage unit to rent my storage unit.
Well, it was the lady that ran the production company, who's still my bestie. She like let me stay in the storage room, and she gets mad at me because she's like, it's not a storage room. There was a futon, and I'm like, I was next to 30 cases of Arizona green tea and a whole lot of like
bleach.
Coffee paper. It was, but it was nice. It was Charlie Chaplin's old studio. Like it was cute. It was just attached to her office, but yeah, so then the woman that ran the workshops place said, I think you'll bring up the level of the class. If you want to work at the front desk, I'll let you do the classes for free.
Okay.
And I'm working at the desk for free, but I'm doing the classes for free. So because of that, I got to meet all the cast. You'd walk them from their car, you'd walk them back to their car. So I got to have a lot of extra exposure. In fact, the casting director that's coming into Secret Actor Society next month, I'm pretty sure I met during those workshops. Same with Josh Einstein, who put me on This Is Us. Like, so, you sort of end up learning that planting seeds from, you don't. Oh, look at my nails. I'm so sorry. I just
show us again. What's going on?
It's bad. It's so
my
bad.
God. Have you been chewing on them?
Nails.
What have you been doing?
So I kind of learned really quickly that it's, all these things kind of accidentally came onto my radar, but most actors, and for me, I was there for a while before I figured, had all these things happen. And I was like, there has to be a bridge. And so what ended up happening was all these Aussies were like, oh, my friend's coming to LA. Can they sit down and pick your brain? And I was like, okay. And so they buy me coffee and they pick my brain. And after like the 20th or 30th person, I started just emailing them all answers that I'd given all the others. Right. And then eventually they'd ask more questions and I'd just email them the answers that I'd given everyone else plus theirs. And then it turned into this big, long kind of question answer PDF. And that's when people kept saying, dude, you need to write a book about this. And so that's when I started writing the textbook when I was like maybe 25 or 26. And then took me like 4 or 5 years to write the textbook, which unfortunately then meant I was distracted. And this is what a lot of actors do is we're so desperate for control in our career and we're so afraid of the lack of control in our career that we do something like that where I put all this time into the textbook and I didn't put time into building my career. And so at the same time, like I'm learning all this stuff and I've learned all these things and did my first TV show in 2008.
Implementing them.
Yeah, I should be implementing them. And so that's kind of the story of my career is I've hustled just enough to maintain a degree of work. But if I was really applying all the things that I teach, then I would be much more successful, which I think is true of some, psychologists are usually the ones that need the most mental
Yeah,
the most
and
help
those that can't teach kind of thing. But
totally, exactly. And so I just wasn't. I was putting my energy, but the problem is that my acting is it's okay. Like I'm not bad at it. I get hired quite often, and so it's looking back, it's a bit of a shame. But at the same time, I feel like the writing the textbook was kind of my opus, and then the Secret Actors Society is something that I feel is I've created it to be much bigger than me, and so I think it's really important. And then now I'm definitely feeling really kind of proactive in my career, which is great. But like in saying that, it's not like I haven't worked. I just kind of am aware
you're hitting your
of
stride maybe now more than ever too.
Yeah, I'm kind of aware of what I haven't been doing.
Yeah.
For being distracted. So that's a big thing that I teach people as well, is just where focus goes, energy flows. That's a very Tony Robbins thing. So just be very careful of that plan B that takes you away from plan A, because there is kind of, if you wanted to put 16 hours a day into your acting career, you really could, and it would be productive, especially in America.
Well, I can applaud and appreciate what you're doing, because I'm a big sort of pay it forward kind of guy as well. And, there by the grace of God go I. So it's, I like to give back something that I didn't get when I was coming up and would have really appreciated just on a basic level. So the fact that you take time and are sort of compelled to create something that is, beneficial to others who are starting out, to cut through a lot of the static and to give some guidance, I'm all for that every time.
But there's this chick, I just did a seminar, and Lynn Reed, who runs Secret Knock Women's, which is an incredible mastermind series for women that I just was at a week or two ago. She says your calling, I'll butcher it, but she says basically your calling isn't always the thing that you really want to do. Sometimes you're just called to do something. And, I remember a psychic told me like 15 years ago, I see you teaching rooms of hundreds of people. And I was like, I'm sorry, have you met me? I'm not a teacher. I wrote a textbook, but that's it.
And here you are.
And then literally 2 years, like not even, maybe a year or two later, I was teaching for rooms of hundreds of people through the Screen Actors Guild, and obviously teaching thousands of people online. And so it's been a real surprise to me, because I was not ever the person that should have been the
Let
teacher.
me ask you this then. If do you think you would have discovered as much about the business acumen of being a freelance professional actor, right, as you did if you hadn't been teaching?
No, that's a really good question. I do not
Thank
think
you.
I would have, and I also think I would be at this point a writer. I've written 7 feature films, and I really enjoy writing. I've got like 20 show ideas in my head that I need to put down on paper, and so I think I would have gone more into the content creation side of things, because I have a bit of a producer's brain. But to be honest, I don't actually love producing. I prefer teaching over producing, but I think I would have gone that way. And I think I probably wouldn't have learned anywhere near as much stuff about the acting hustle. I probably would have just listened to my reps more, and not my current reps, but my old reps. My current reps are incredible, but my old reps used to always say things like, well, you can't reach out to agents on your own. You have to wait till you have this XYZ, all that stuff that they tell actors. And then you sit there for years because they've got no skin in the game. You're just, you're one of 50 or 100 people on their books. They can very casually say, oh no, you should wait till
Don't
XYZ
embarrass me by going out.
and it's like, what? So I couldn't go out and get an agent that'll help me get that job, that'll get me the top agent or whatever, I think a lot of actors are living in fear because of what they've been told by the wrong people. And so that's why it's really important for me to get the people who are in the thick of it, who are actually on the ground doing the work, to teach them stuff that is actually practical, as opposed to, you see a lot of these people who come in as acting teachers and stuff, and they've got like no credits, and you're just like, but how can you teach how to build a career in acting if you don't have a career in acting? And so
that's what I noticed immediately with you, the difference between, I've seen other gurus and have been approached myself.
I am not a guru, dude. I just have information in my brain and I get it to people.
I don't mean other gurus. I've come across gurus. Let's put it that way. Sorry. You're right.
One of which I am not.
You're not. of which you are not, of course. You wouldn't be on the show if you were. Because, yeah. And I even had a manager myself I was started working with a little bit in the States. I thought it'd be a good idea. And maybe I will get a manager in the States at some point. But she wanted to be my manager. And I looked at her, and she was an actor as well. And I looked at her stuff, and it was awful. You know what I mean? Like her CV, her show reel, her headshots, the way she had been promoting herself. And I was like, and she was taking on all kinds of clients. And I said, how are you going to manage my career? You can't even manage your own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And how are you? And when I say gurus, I do mean like acting coaches who I think just give up on the game of acting. But you can't, I think, be a great acting coach if, as you said, especially a career coach. It's one thing to train someone in acting. And that's not my. I don't really think you can do that very much. But to give career coaching advice and things, you just as you said, you have to have skin in the game. You have to have a set of credits to your to your name. And I would never go to someone giving career advice and then look at their IMDb and go, well, and I've done it. I look at this person hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
What advice are you giving? Don't do what I did because you won't get anywhere? Is that the
and it's really dangerous. And the thing that breaks my heart is often they're the ones that are charging quite a lot of money for programs or classes, and then actors get burned. And so my fear is always that the next Meryl Streep is going to get burned before she starts her career. Yeah. And because we need her. I was just watching a movie, and I'm not going to say who, but I was just watching a movie literally at the theater yesterday, and it's a massive movie with two extremely talented actors in it, and the lead girl was dog crap. And I was like, mate, how are you working? And she had done a big breakout film, and she's obviously famous. The most vanilla, bland, terrible performance I have seen in my life. And I'm like, do you know how many unemployed actors would have all the supporting actresses were phenomenal around her. Yeah. And she was, it killed me on the inside. And it actually was quite a good film in the end. It was, it was confusing to kind of get used to the vibe of it for the first 20 minutes, but it was a really lovely art house take on the rom-com kind of vibe. And honestly, like it breaks my heart when I see that, because I just go, how many actors have I seen in acting class, or how many actors have I seen that have quit the industry or that can't get a job that would have been 10 times better than this girl. But for whatever reason, be it nepotism, strategy, whatever it was, she got into the right rooms. She got those jobs. And it's just a case of it's always kind of the domino
followers.
effect. Well, yeah, I doubt it. This was a massive studio film, and I don't know how she got that initial job, but she's quite you would know her name if I said it. And it just breaks my heart. And then I actually, funnily enough, I went on the forums, and they were like, is she the worst actor ever? And I was like, okay, at least the audiences can tell as well. But she's still the one working. And so for me, my goal is not to, you can't use the strategies that I teach if you suck at acting. You can't use the strategies that I teach to build a career. You can get a bunch of junk roles in low budget stuff, but because sometimes those filmmakers don't necessarily know good acting from bad acting, or it might be someone who's a tech company person who's financing the project, making the decisions or whatever, or dabbling in making a film. But you're not going to get the real work, because the casting directors are usually going to, she wasn't god awful. She was just bland. So, to a certain point, as long as you're good or above, using all these strategies will work. A bad actor isn't going to work using all these strategies. But my goal is to get the great actors, the business strategies, because the thing is, the great actors are the ones that are the worst usually at the business. And they're the ones that'll sit on an agent's books and do what their agent tells them. And the reality is, last year, I think I brought in maybe 50% of the jobs that I ended up doing. And that's with really good rep. Really, really good rep. And I still brought in I brought in that Daisy Ridley film for myself. My agent pitched me, but I called the casting person and pitched myself on the phone.
Really?
Yeah.
You got balls, kid. You got balls.
What are you gonna do? I wouldn't recommend doing that, but it was just Australian. Her cell phone was on her website, and she turned out to be lovely, so it worked out well. But you've got to still hustle. I remember my buddy who's a film financier was at a film festival, and he was talking to Michelle Rodriguez, and she was like, yeah, dude, I still get like most of my work from networking,
right.
That's Michelle Rodriguez. And that's what you see. You go to the South by, Sundance, Toronto, Cannes, a bunch of name actors are there networking, whether they have a film in the festival or not. And then there's all these actors around the world who don't have any credits, and they're scared to go to these things because, I don't have a film in the festival. Should I go? I don't want to go if I don't have a film. Oh, really? Because like 50 celebrities are here, or 500 celebrities are here in France, meeting people at 3 a.m. in a villa.
Right.
At the awesomest parties in the world.
Right.
Shout out to Maxim, who runs the pajama party at Cannes. But, they're networking, they're strategizing, and they're the ones that you would think would be sitting on their bums waiting for the phone to ring. So if they're doing it, if A-listers and high-profile actors are doing that kind of thing, then we all should be. As soon as we're at a certain talent level, don't network before you're ready. Jesus, please don't show anyone your work if it sucks.
I do see that there's a change and a shift in how even the named quote unquote celebrity actor or A-listers or even the B-listers are hustling more. It's more evident because they're picking up all kinds of gigs that, well, it's a little disappointing for us who are still trying to get the scraps because you're like, geez, you're doing that now too? Is there nothing you people won't do? Like,
Yeah, but dude, everyone's struggling right now. So you got to remember, so actors who are in the bottom sort of rankings at the moment, who were like actors that would pick up 1 or 2 co-stars a year and kind of have. That's not trust me, that is like a very good ranking. It's like at the sort of 7 out of 10 or. But if the actors that were ducking in and getting 1 or 2 film and TV jobs a year, they always had another source of income. So during this time when everything's been really hard since the pandemic, it's the upper middle class of actors who didn't have the day jobs. So then if you've got a profile, you've got 200,000 followers on Instagram and people know you and recognize you, they're like, oh, aren't you that they may not know your name, but aren't you that person from that show? They did like 6 episodes of a TV series, 8 episodes of a TV series. Yeah. Sure, they've got some residuals coming in, but they don't have a day job. Yeah. So the actors that were at that lower level doing the co-star stuff have income. Those people at the upper middle level have to make their mortgage payments and their insurance. They're not dicking around, and they can't go get a job at Starbucks because everyone recognizes them.
Right.
It's embarrassing. What if a casting director comes in? So of course they're doing whatever they can to survive. They're not, they're not slumming it just to stick it to us. They're slumming it because they have to make insurance. That's why Jimmy Kimmel does this thing every year where if you're within if you're within like $1,500 of making your insurance, he will hire you. He brings in a bunch of actors that are like that close and pays them like just enough to get them over
the $50 you need to get you over the top.
Well, it's like $1,500 or something, but they'll literally bring you in, and it's like if you're within this much of your, because it's such a heartbreaking thing when you've made like $28,000 for the year.
Yeah.
Sharon Stone didn't make her insurance a couple of years ago.
Really?
Yeah, she that was her platform for running. I mean, I think so. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure that was her platform for running for like
president.
A president of the union or something.
Right.
Wow.
Huh.
Yeah. So I mean, it's hard out there.
It's tough. It's tough out there for the best of us. So
yeah, totally.
You get to LA, you're rocking it for a while. You go through this whole phase.
I wasn't rocking it for a while, man. I had 4 years where I didn't do any paid jobs. I did like all these non-union, nothing kind of jobs that no one ever saw.
Well, I mean, rocking it in a sense like.
Yeah.
Oh, you did Transmorphers? Oh.
I moved it. I moved it to another IMDb.
How thrilled were you?
IMDb. I've got like 10 feature films on a different IMDb profile.
How did you
really?
How did you do that? I have things I do not want.
Nah, dude, you can't do it anymore. I keep trying to do it with some of my other credits. They're stuck. I'm stuck with them now. Yeah, sorry, man.
I could go through.
But you know what? I did a film the other day, and I said to the dude that made it, I was like, "You can credit me on the film. You cannot put me on IMDb," because I was just like, I was young and I needed the money. I don't know. Like I was just like, I just can't have at that. I just wanted to kind of keep a clean resume, and but I wanted to help the filmmaker out and make sure that he had, the actor he wanted in the.
Now wait a minute. Now is that the advice you would give to an actor? Because I don't know. I don't know if there's any shame in doing some crap. They might, because people won't understand it, but you understand why you did it. Like look, here's the thing. And to be honest, with that film, I probably didn't need to. But
because it's going to be a really good film. But it's just a case of there's a perception of your value as an actor. So, for instance, I got booked on a film earlier this year. They gave the role I auditioned for. They gave it to a celebrity who is quite famous, and then they asked me to do a smaller role that had like 4 or 5 scenes.
Okay. And
I was like, because I was the second choice for that role, but they went with the celebrity. The celebrity was a guy, by the way. That's the kind of roles I read for, ones where it could go for a guy or girl.
Wow. Okay.
I then looked him up, and I was like, do I want to play a supporting role in a film that he's one of the leads in?
Right. And
I looked him up, and he's been doing 10 to 15 films a year with junk posters that look like junk films. And he's doing them and I, as an actor, was like, I don't want to align with that in a supporting role with someone who's done that.
Right.
Now, it was the same budget as a film that I did last year with a guy who's less famous in the lead, but he had recently done Oppenheimer and Lady in the Lake with Natalie Portman. And he's more of a character actor, but he's a very classy, very talented, highly talented character actor who I think is going to break out. Now, he's less famous, but the other guy is more cheesy. And I was like, so there's a decision-making element that you kind of have when, for instance, whenever I'm choosing whether to do a film or not, I look at the director's past work, I look at the producer's past work and what their movie posters look like. Because if the producers have a bunch of crappy movie posters, then it's going to show up on my IMDb list. And it's going to be obvious that I'm doing a film that probably, if the movie poster's junk, then the script was probably junk. And so then why is she doing it? Oh, she's desperate for work. So then it's just a case of like trying to keep it a little bit clean. Like I would rather do an unpaid film with the best script in the world than do a paid film with that looks like cheese. Right. And so for me, that's just the career I want to build. But, for some people it won't matter, but I want to be doing,
quality.
The kinds of films that get into Cannes and Toronto and end up winning awards. And I want to be someone where people are excited to have me attached to the project. And so then the flip side of that is then when someone's deciding whether to hire me or not, and they look at my resume and they go, do we want to align our film with someone who's just done a bunch of cheesy junk, or do we want to align our, and I don't care if they're short films, as long as they look classy. It's like, and that was literally what I wrote back to my agent when they offered me the job, because they came back, I said no, and then they came back and they're like, the director really wants you. And I was like, look, I just can't, because for me, my priority isn't, I've got to do all this work. I want the quantity of work. I want quality work. And it's not inspiring for me. I make, I don't need the money. Like, why am I doing it? I mean, it would have been super fun. It was a sci-fi. I really want to do more sci-fi stuff. But yeah, I couldn't align myself with that cast. So that's the director's work, producer's work. The DP is important. And a bad DP will ruin a film. Yeah. And the production designer is so important on low budget stuff as well. Right. So you've got to look at these things and also who the leading cast are, because then you're aligning with their career trajectory. There's a bunch of junk out there, you guys. There's a bunch of junk that never gets seen.
Yeah.
And it's just, what are you doing? Like, wouldn't you rather just be like chilling? Or I'd rather go get a job at a movie theater and work at the front desk than go do a piece of junk film that's going to go out there and it's going to bring our industry down instead of improve and making people's lives better. It's one thing if it's a comedy. Look, I did a film. I decided I'm not going to do horrors anymore. And then like a month later, I said yes to a film called Eat Brains Love. You know why? I went to decline the audition. And then I was like, Kym, don't be an asshole. Like, read the sides. Right. I read the sides. I could not stop laughing. It was like 2 or 3 pages. Could not stop laughing. Nice. I laughed like 20 times in 3 pages. I read the whole script. I request the script, read the whole script. Literally dying laughing. I like, my cheeks hurt. My face hurt. I'm crying. It's one of the best scripts I've ever read. I look up the director. It's Rodman Flender, who did several episodes of the Scream series. Right. Really high profile, highly talented director. The film was phenomenal. I flew to Baton Rouge for the callback, like not even to get the job. I flew there for the callback. That's how much I ended up wanting to do this film. So for me, it's not a case of, oh, well, I'm not going to do this anymore. It's like people saying, I'm not going to do co-stars anymore. Well, that's stupid. There's some really great co-star roles. I just read for literally yesterday for a show that's produced by Martin Scorsese and Steven Spielberg, Amy Adams and Javier Bardem, and it was like 4 lines. I'm not going to not do a co-star role in that with that cast with a really cool character that was just because it's small. That's such small thinking, you know.
Yeah.
You've got to look at everything. You can't just blanket. Oh, all casting directors say this. Oh, all horror films are this, or all this, you know, like. And then I've done this Daisy Ridley horror film as well, and I do horror films. It's just I want to do really high profile or intelligent horror films, you know.
Yeah.
And I want to do junk.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I just don't want to do junk in general.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, that was my ramble. I do rambles.
Yeah, we hear you.
Great ramble.
It's great Aussie ramble.
We thank you.
We went on walkabout.
I'm used to teaching like 2-hour seminars. I mean,
there's a ton to go through with you. I'm curious about all sorts. And every question I ask, it's a 15-minute response. So, but
I'm totally okay. I'm gonna give short answers.
We've got like 2 more questions.
No. It's great. It's way better than guests who don't have anything to say. And Todd's like,
I'm dragging it out of him. Like,
Todd's like, okay, but like,
yeah, but
do you have a story about this?
Yes, no answers.
No, not really.
And they're like,
Okay.
All right, moving on. Tell us about your husband. He's an actor.
He's rad. We met, I stalked him into submission, basically. I'm sure that's illegal. So we met just before I released my book and at a house party of his, and he walked up to me and he's like, giggity. And I was like, I couldn't even handle it. He's so funny. And so and he just walked away. But I had seen him. So basically this is like in my 20s in Hollywood, man. It was a madhouse. And this is in the like 2000s. And so it's like crazy. So my roommate and I are partying until 8 a.m. And then we go to sleep, and then we sleep in past the start of this 2 p.m. pool party. And he comes running into my room. He's like, dude, we're late for the pool party and my buddy's been texting me. I don't know if anyone's shown up. I'm like, yeah, he's just not used to the LA thing where you start a party at 3 and everyone shows up at 5. Because if you, like, I had a birthday party last week in LA. I started at 5 p.m. because I wanted it to start at 7 to trick people.
Yeah,
exactly. And then a couple of people show up early and you get to have proper chats.
Right.
So anyway, so he, as we were kind of looking for the place where the party was, I saw this guy standing at the door of the apartment building. And I just was like, oh, and it was literally for me, like love at first sight. I was like, he's so hot. Like, and I just had a feeling about him. And so anyway, when that happened, I got up to the party and I was just like immediately I had my game face on. And so I like, when that happened, I had kind of lured him in a little with how I was sitting and talking and da-da-da. So anyway, cut to, we meet that night and it's like heaven on earth. And then he doesn't call me. And I'm like, what? And so, and we'd like made plans. I was like, we could go to the top of Runyon and like paint. And we were sitting there that whole night going, oh my God, you're amazing. Where have you been? And so he doesn't call me. And I asked him, even the other day I was talking about it with him. I was like, why didn't you call me? And he's like, because you seemed like something real. And I had just gotten to Hollywood and I wanted to have fun. And he's like, and I was like, oh my God, this is why women go crazy, because this is what men think. He's like, oh, I thought you seemed like someone I would want to date. And I didn't want to date anyone. And so this is like advice to all the girlfriends out there.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't want to waste my time. And so, and that's what he said. He's like, I didn't want to reach out to you and then not kind of, ruin everything because I couldn't kind of come through with something serious. And so that is my advice to women out there. Men do not settle down necessarily just because you're the love of their life. Now, sometimes they do. Obviously, I've seen it happen at the wrong time. But usually men build their castle and then they marry the girl who's in front of them when they're ready. And so trust me when I say he was not ready. We were very young. And so then...
is this all available at secretbride.com? Your new project?
I basically figured out where he was going to be, showed up to a bunch of parties, and then like kind of just ignored him and would let him come up and talk to me. Cut to 6 years later, we've become friends. We're like, hanging out. We'd do self-tapes together and sometimes have a cheeky kiss while we were doing self-tapes, but that was it. He's chosen like at this point, like 3 different girls over me. One of them he dated for 2 years, one he dated for 6 months. Anyway, eventually I had this urge. You've got to always follow your urges, guys. When you get those urges, you have to do it. I had this urge to go to a film festival in Sydney. So I literally flew into Brisbane, dropped my bags with my mum, flew to Sydney, went to the film festival, flew back to Queensland the next day just to go to this one film festival opening night that I had an urge to go to. I went there. I ran into him. He was with some other hot French model. And he's like, this is blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, of course it is. And then I walked away. But then I needed help with a self-tape. And he needed help with a self-tape. We were like, okay, we'll tape together tomorrow. And so, it was the next week. Because, it's hard to find a good self-tape partner. Yeah. And it's hard to game someone when you're trying to get a self-tape done. And so anyway, as I was doing self-tapes with him, my roommate moved out and I was like, dude, my roommate in LA moved out. I'm going back there next week. I need someone for the room. And he's like, well, I'm moving out from that girl I dated for 6 months that I chose over you. And then we ended up together. So it's
a Hollywood love story.
I'm sure that's not what you were asking, but anyway. So he is an incredible actor. He was the star of Wishman. When we were still friends, we did Wishman together. So he got me onto the film. And he also got our friend Julian Curtis, recommended us both for the film. He's a really inclusive, incredible guy. When he gets onto a job, he will literally figure out what friends he can bring onto it. And he will pitch them to the filmmakers until he's blue in the face to get people jobs. He's phenomenal. And he's also a phenomenal producer. So Wishman did really well. It was #1 on Netflix worldwide. It had a mass, it's about the founder of the Make-A-Wish Foundation and his life story. And then pardon?
Yeah, I want to watch that. He produced it?
Good. He co-produced it, but he wasn't one of the initial producers. He got cast in it because so again, sorry to tangent, but we were doing a self-tape together and he's like, oh, my agent at insert one of the top 2 agencies in the world said that I shouldn't bother going to Comic-Con. And I was like, what? And he had done this like culty thing where he played Batman. And it went quite well on YouTube. Right. And I was like, why would you not go? And he's like, they said that it's a waste of my time. I'm like, it's never a waste of your time. You never know what could happen. He went to Comic-Con, met a lady there. They were having a bit of a flirty flirt. She invited him to 2 different events. At one of the events, he ended up meeting his partner in the charity film festival that he started running for 5 years called Flicks for Change. And at one of the other events at the same Comic-Con, he met the founder of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And the guy was like, you should play me in this movie they got coming up. And they ended up introduced him to the producer of the film. The whole film was full of celebrities. They had Dale Dickey, Tom Sizemore, Danny Trejo. Andrew was the lead with next to I think it was his first feature film, one of his first feature films. Wow. He's the lead in this massive movie just because he is obviously extremely talented and happened to be there proactively networking at an event that his agent told him not to go to.
Right.
So anyway, we have noticed he's an incredible producer. So we booked a film in Australia. They invited us to play like #2 and #3 on the cast list. We then came on as producers. I am not someone who's very passionate about producing. He lights up like a Christmas tree when he's producing. He loves it. He is so good at it. He's so passionate about it. And so he's now produced, we had a same thing happen on another film where they offered us #2 and #3 on the cast list. It was a low budget indie and that we ended up having a conversation about producing. Andrew came on as a producer and the conversation that I had was, no, I would like to be executive producer so I can have an opinion but not have to do any work. And so, because executive producers are more in an advisory or financier role. And so, so that's kind of him. But he's an amazing person and an amazing dad. Is my thing about Andrew. And now we have a 3-year-old. So P.S. like long gaming people works in the end. Just saying.
Well, it doesn't seem that bright if he turned his back on you for 6 years, but
trust me, I was not ready either. I went through 6 years of shamans and healing and because I had a very, I would say I had a very unfun attachment style due to a very rocky childhood, and
Right.
he had the picture perfect childhood where they lived by the
Oh,
beach with
I was
two
gonna say-
incredible parents.
We hate
We
them.
try to
Yeah.
hang out with his parents, and they don't have any time to hang out with us because they have such an amazing friendship circle. We're like, can we do lunch for
That's
your
so
birthday? They're like,
cute.
oh yeah, we can fit
Oh.
you in
Yeah.
for brunch.
We're going to meet the Bickersons.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I might like the guy, but no, I'm on the
Nah,
fence.
dude, he's honestly too perfect. It's offensive. He's
No, we did-
really, and he's lovely. Like
We
he
did meet
so
him
shows up for
briefly.
people. It's obscene. I feel like I just carved him out. I actually wrote a list of the 57 things I wanted in a man,
Right.
and he was 56 of them. And the only one he wasn't was he didn't speak another language, but he was like, "Babe, I play guitar." That's a language.
He speaks the language of
It's a
music.
language.
Of the
Language
guitar.
of music. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm just gonna kill
Speaks
everyone."
Australian,
I'm
doesn't he?
Kill
I'm
every.
gonna
And he
projectile
speaks
vomit.
Australian and American.
He does. That's
So
true.
that's kind of similar. Well, all right, enough about him. Maybe we'll have him on the
gosh.
show at some point.
Yeah, dude, you so should. He's rad.
Yeah, it sounds good. Sounds cool.
He's also PS a producer now, so he can talk about that stuff.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be great.
Because we cast from literally the last movie we did, we were like, who did we see at the Australian Academy Awards the other day? Oh yeah. Yeah, we should hire that person. And that was how we cast. So, networking.
Well, I do a wicked Australian accent, mate.
Perfect.
So if you need an Aussie bloke, you just come wang dang doodle down me. Just give it a take it. What?
Some of them do
What's
actually
those-
talk
what are
like
those
that. By the way. That is a thing.
Yeah, how you going? Anyway, I'll work on it. So you have landed yourselves in Atlanta now, which is obviously it's the new Hollywood East.
Yeah.
How's it going out there?
Yeah,
How
look,
y'all
it's
doing?
good. The main thing is we read for a lot of projects all around the Southeast. So it's not just Atlanta, it's Kentucky, Tennessee,
Right.
New York. Just being on the East Coast, we're getting access to like New York. And we also proactively self-submit out here as well. So I have an incredible agent here called Landrum Arts. They're based in New Orleans, but they have connections everywhere. He's with Jay Purvis, which is arguably the top agent in Atlanta. But I will say we read probably as much for, all the other places as we do for Atlanta. Being on the ground here really just gives the Atlanta casting people a bit more reason to bring you in for projects locally. And then, because especially these days, they don't just say, are you local hire in Atlanta? They say, where do you live? Or where are you
Right.
currently taping? And, so I'm holding up my Georgia driver's license in the slate going, true Georgia local.
Yeah.
Oh, they're that on
They're like,
top of it.
yeah.
Well, yeah, they just ask. I don't know how much they care, but for the people that they want to work locally, they do. Because then, otherwise, if you're not true local, then you're going to come in. Your agent's going to be like, "Well, can you cover the hotel? Can you cover the flight?" And they're like,
Right.
"No, we've listed it as a local hire role. We will not. We don't have it in the budget. We've blew our budget flying 3 actors in from LA."
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I will say the productions aren't. They say deep, like that's how they kind of term it, like how, like it's 80 productions deep or it's 30 productions deep. You can go on the Georgia Film Commission website and see what's filming here currently. They always have an updated list. And
Right.
lately it's only been around 20 or 30, 20, 25 scripted shows. Whereas in 2022, it was closer to 70. So,
Wow.
Oh wow.
yeah, but I will say every producer that I speak to sort of, especially when I'm seeing them in panels and seminars, which I go to a lot because I like to learn, they will be like, why would I shoot in LA when I can get 40% back in Georgia? Why would I spend $1 million an episode when I can spend $600,000 an episode? And it just doesn't make sense when you're dealing with numbers that big. So for a TV show, when they're deciding where to
Right.
shoot it, it makes a lot more sense to do it in Georgia. And at the same time, Georgia crews are starting to get a bit more expensive because they're getting used to the work. So now people are doing Kentucky and Tennessee and all the, so it's literally
Wow.
the whole industry has decentralized now. So it's just, it used to be mostly LA. Now it's Vancouver and all of these other areas.
Well,
There's a
Vancouver
lot
was
of
always
stuff.
a hub for American stuff, but
It was.
and local hires. I saw the same thing happen here in Europe over the years, with Prague,
going off,
Budapest, and Romania, Bucharest,
Yeah.
Sofia, Budapest. They're expanding. They were expanding here in the UK for a while too, with a lot of studios, but those are starting to be scaled back a little bit too, turning them into data centers and stuff.
Oh yeah, I saw that article. Yeah,
They
that's
had a lot
crazy,
of,
right?
yeah, they had a lot of plans. I don't know. Do you
Mm.
feel like there's a general slowdown in the industry out there?
Well, it's not a feeling, it's a statistic, but it doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. It's just a case of, the industry is constantly evolving. So it just like verticals right now are taking up like 20% of the studio space, but they're
Yeah.
non-union, so none of us can work on them. And so
Jay can.
oh, there you go.
I can. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but
Jay's
I
making
might
his
be
living
flying to
off.
China in 2 days.
Yeah,
It's
Jay's been making his
We'll
living
see.
off the verticals.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
how
I think
good.
they're kind of well. You talked about like doing not wanting to do junk, and I'm not saying that verticals are junk, but like
Drunk junk.
they're there's actually something kind of freeing about them because it's doing a job where it's like I'm not trying to win an Oscar, where you can go in and it's like actually I'm gonna go in and have a good time and that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Look,
I've been enjoying it.
what I would say is if you're going to do a vertical, people are quite forgiving if you're great in something crap. Like when I see a great actor in something crap, I want to rescue them. I get like my nurture side comes into it, and I think that'll happen, especially for a lot of female producers. They'll be like, "Oh no, this poor lost child. Let me give them a real job." And so, I would say, and I have been saying to actors in my kind of groups, like nail it, like go in and know it so well, because the thing is audiences can actually tell bad acting. And if you're a standout in some junk like that that's got a high audience, they're going to look you up, they're going to follow you on Instagram, you're going to build a fan base, and at some point you might be able to parlay that over, because we don't know if verticals are the next Netflix. When Kevin Spacey moved over to Netflix with that show he did,
Cards?
yeah, what's it called?
House of Cards. This is a long
Yeah,
time.
House of Cards. Everyone was like, "What are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
that's insane." And it turned out obviously to be the first step in the streaming revolution. But at the time, everyone was like, "That's crazy to put a show that high profile or that high brow on a streaming service. So it's just internet only. Like, that's crazy." But now it's the norm.
Yeah.
And so I think verticals. Who knows what's going to happen? But obviously, Quibi knew what they were doing. They just did it too early. So it's just a case of like, if that has been the way people have seen things going for a while, and if they can monetize it, it is going to grow. And as it grows, they will get better writers, and they will get better, they will start going union. For example, in this next set of resolutions, the SAG, we do this thing called the SAG convention every 2 years, where we all pitch what needs to be changed in our union contracts. And the convention delegates, there's a couple hundred of us. And one of the resolutions that I will definitely be putting forward is to make sure that there's a SAG-AFTRA contract specific to verticals. And so, when that happens, it'll be more appealing for them to go union, and it'll make sense for them. But we'll see. I don't know. But at that point, you've got good scripts, you've got good actors. Maybe the budgets are getting bigger because it's a more reliable platform to get investors, and they can show like a kind of more of a reliable ROI. At that point, do they then become the next generation of filmmaking? Right. For a portion
or entertainment
of
in general. Yeah.
Yeah. So who knows? Like the future's really unpredictable and scary, and we're in this weird time where everything's sort of moving at a rate that none of us have really lived through before. So I think everyone's just kind of holding on to the coattails of what the market wants, not even necessarily of what the industry wants, of what the market is paying for, because that's the only place we're going to get funding.
Right.
Word. Makes sense.
Are you, how long do you think you'll stay in Atlanta? Or are you kind of putting down roots?
I'm having trouble here. I have like 3 girlfriends here that I love, but I miss LA. I you know what I miss? I had like I said, I was in LA for a week, and my best girlfriends are there. Like I was there for 16 years, and I feel really isolated here. I feel really like, I don't know, like my bestie here is like this chick. She's a show creator. She's amazing. She's a mom. It's really mentally stimulating hanging out with her. I've got another girlfriend here who's a film producer who runs the filmmaker version of this. It's called of Secret Actor Society. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's called Life Out Loud Films, and she's awesome. But she's never in town. She's in Portugal right now, and so like it's her. And then my other friend who just got pregnant, and like I need mental stimulation. I need a lot of different people who are having really high level conversations, so I feel stimulated, in order to be able to hang out with a 3-year-old the rest of the time.
Right.
And
You're
then
not
there's my
getting that
child, you
in
know.
Georgia?
And so, but it's hard. It's just me and Andrew and Jackson, and I'm feeling really lonely here, and so I don't think we'll last here. We didn't move back to. We were supposed to move back to LA at the start of the year, but because of the fires, we were worried about the particle pollution with the asbestos fibers and stuff, the PFAS or whatever they're called, kind of being pulled up into the air when they move all that rubble.
Yeah.
We didn't want him inhaling it, but we think after a year it'll maybe be okay. But yeah, Atlanta is so beautiful, and then you go back to LA and it's like a cement jungle. But we're thinking maybe like Manhattan Beach or something, so we can still kind of have that vibe. But yeah, I like, for me, I'm a very social creature. I'm an introvert. Like I reset and I recharge on my own. But when I'm out, I want to see my girlfriends, man. Like I just think chicks, especially if you're married, especially in a boy house, like I think we really need our girlfriends. And so like I have about 4 or 5. I have a lot of friends, but I have like 4 or 5 best friends in LA that I really respect. That I'm kind of a little scared of all of them, and I think that's why I keep them.
Right.
But like I think that's how I source best friends, is that they're a little intimidating and they know more than me, and they make me feel like motivated to better myself. And yeah, anyway, sorry, another rant.
Love it.
How long have you been there in Atlanta? When'd you get there?
Last year we did 6 months here, and then this year we moved back. We moved back in like a month ago. So I'm already like, I got to get out of here. Like it's not just my girlfriends. I miss the screenings. Like the thing I love about LA is like, I love
the industry there,
film festivals and screenings, and I was in the television academy, and like I really like that, you know. Like I really like all, everyone's saying, oh, there's no work in LA. Whatever, there's always going to be work in LA, and also you're always going to be able to book stuff around the country from LA anyway. It's just a plane ticket. Who cares? It's not like I'm, I'm doing. So anyway,
where do you want Jackson to grow up?
Not LA. That's tricky, but like maybe Manhattan Beach.
Maybe,
it's Sydney. Look, he's already enrolled in the same school his dad went to for high school from year 5. So we've basically got another 7 years before we're going back to Sydney because he's going to go to a place called Scott's College.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like
gotta
the
get in early, huh?
Thing. Yeah, we enrolled him when he was 6 months old. You have to like enroll them really early.
Wow.
Yeah, it's hectic.
But there's a time, not a time crunch, but
We've
like
got a timer.
A timer, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm an old mom, so by then I imagine I will be tired. It was my birthday yesterday, so.
Oh yes, I forgot to mention happy birthday. That's right.
Yeah.
But 32's not old, Kym.
Thanks.
What? Brownie points scored.
My age is on Google. Whatever. It's such as love.
Mine too. I don't know. I got hold of my age at some point, and I keep telling you got it wrong.
I stupidly put it on IMDb.
I
like
did
20
too.
years ago, and I was like, I'm never going to care about this. But it's like, oh no, now I.
I did too. Somebody came to me, one of my buddies, he was an actor, and he's like, "Are you on IMDb?" And I was like, "What's that?" He's like, "Yeah, they got the whole thing, you know." And he goes, "I got on there. Better claim yourself as number 1 before somebody else claims it." And I go, so I went on it and I jumped. I didn't know how it worked. I never confessed this, by the way, before. And I didn't know how it worked. So I was like, "That's me. I'm Todd Kramer 1." And I already had some credits and stuff. And then it was like, I went into the back end and it was like, "What's your date of birth?" And I was like, "Tick, tick, tick." I wanted to prove that it was me so they would accept the.
Dude.
And then I saying popped up. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, you can't put that up there. And because up until that point, I was telling everybody that I was at least 10 years younger than I was.
Yeah.
And then the ladies would find it. The ladies would, I told all the women that I was dating that I was, 26. And then they get on IMDb and they go, "You're not 26." And I go, "IMDb doesn't know shit. Shut nothing."
So funny.
It's terrible. Why am I'm over confessing. Now who's rambling?
That was not a ramble, dude. My rambles have been 10 minutes.
That's true. That's true. Let's ramble about this for a minute.
Oh yeah, free class.
Secret Actors Society. Free class. Yeah. Well, the whole site, you have given me access. Thank you. I am now a member of the Secret Actors Society. I don't know when you'll revoke my membership, but walk us through all this.
You can have it forever.
It's for life? Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about the free class, but also just talk about because this is awesome. If I had been more ambitious, this is what I would have done with offstage acting, at least to some degree, but now you're already doing it, so I don't have to.
You would be a lot more tired if that were the case.
I would be more exhausted like you, yeah. But
those master classes take 3 to 5 days to build. And that's the reason they take so long to build is so I won't ramble in them because they're bullet points and they're 90 minutes each. So they're very succinct. I do not ramble. There is a great deal of brevity in everything I say in the classes.
For your own sanity, I guess.
For everyone else's, trust me. Jesus.
I see you've got some calendar stuff, Q&A there with Andrew. And you do, what do we got? The about section. You're not walking us through this. You're supposed to be talking. The journey, flagship curriculum.
So
What's this?
Journey, go down to like all the pictures in the journey because that's like the rad thing.
I'm in the journey. Where's the journey?
That's in the about section. Go to the catalog and then go down to the journey, and I'll show you because this is the masterclass series that is kind of the penultimate masterclass series. It goes through. So it's towards the top of the page.
So 10 steps to revitalizing your career.
No, go up further. Yeah, that's all.
Casting director interviews. Nice.
Yeah, so that's all our casting director interviews. That's all the casting ones that I was speaking about, the 25 casting directors that have come in. And then, so basically the whole site is sectioned into different topics. There's about 130 different topics. And so you can go into representation and then talk, how to get an agent, what is an agent or manager. So it's informational and it's also forward motion.
So do you break it down? Let me ask just.
The Journey Masterclass series.
Between the novice and the beginner, or do you?
Yeah, look, the way I teach is in a way where it's palatable and it's understandable for a novice, and then it's also useful for a very advanced actor.
Okay, so it's all the same.
Yeah, so it's
like
really,
beginning, intermediate, advanced courses.
It's all kind of portioned in. So I'll be maybe talking about something and then I'll kind of go back and explain it. Now, we do have a sort of a level 0 class that I'm going to add soon that is literally the bare basics for people who are just starting out. Like, what is a resume? What is a headshot?
Yeah, that's some of the stuff I teach usually,
Yeah, but we, I haven't done that yet. So if you go down to the Journey Masterclass series, you'll be able to see, so this is the class series. It's essentially 10 steps. So it starts with how the film industry works. So that's kind of, it's not bare basics. It's like a more of a professional like umbrella of how things work in the industry. It's not like what is an agent. It's more of this is the function of an agent and how they relate to casting directors and the other people in the industry. And it goes through
the US, or do you think does it apply internationally?
Industry-wise, it applies internationally. The majority of this applies internationally. There's very few things that really differ from country to country, except for instance, in America, you have an agent and a manager, whereas in the UK and Australia, you just have
an agent.
Yeah, who functions as a manager. So then it goes through marketing materials. So that goes through headshots, resumes, how to put your demo reel together was a section of that in marketing materials. And then I realized it really needed its own class it was so specific. And that class is actually one of my favorites. It's the How to Build a Professional Acting Reel is so detailed and so informative. And I think it's just really important for any actor at any level to watch that, to understand exactly what it's like. For instance, I watched another teacher's How to Build a Professional Acting Reel class to make sure I hadn't missed anything. And what they taught in a 1-hour class ended up being one slide in this 2-hour presentation. And it took maybe 4 minutes to teach. So that's how content dense what I teach is. But I hopefully do it in a way that's understandable. Clear shot subconscious blocks and thrive is really important because the mindset element of everything, and none of this practical stuff is going to work if you have a bunch of blocks where you're stopping yourself from succeeding. So we run you through exercises you can do and kind of adds like a toolkit of that. Then it's the agent and manager section, sign with an agent and manager you love. And then the next one is how to be a great client for your representation, which is the free class that we're going to give away today for life. So you'll have lifetime access to that one. Which basically is how to support your agent and manager in a way that isn't intrusive, but it also motivates them to want to have you. It keeps you top of mind with them. It makes you an easy client. It makes you less likely to get dropped in culls, and it also gives you ways to support them and to ask for things in a way that isn't intrusive, doesn't make you a pest, but still enables you to support them in pitching you for stuff. And so then the rest of the journey kind of just runs through every other thing you need, like networking, how to work on set protocols, how to manage press and publicity as you move forward in your career. And then there's number 10 is visas for international people. So that's kind of relocating to a major market and the O1 visa and stuff for people that want to move to America. But it's a 10-level series of masterclasses. Some of the levels have 2 masterclasses in them, but that's kind of our core curriculum of masterclasses, and everything else we have is sort of supporting material from there.
Very nice.
Love it.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna listen in on that free one you're offering. Thank you. This is really interesting.
Yeah,
for sure.
You should have access to the whole thing for free, man. If you don't, I'll just add it.
No. You didn't do anything for it. I got that,
Dude.
but
Oh, good. Yeah, man.
he's
It's
just
fine.
the
You're in.
sidekick. Don't give him the. All right, fine.
Oh my
whatever.
God,
You
Todd,
can-
come
you can use
on.
it.
Can I make one friend?
Fine,
God.
fine. Just I don't think it's
This
fair,
is-
but whatever.
It is really cool. I'm on the hunt for an agent right now, actually. So I
Still?
just tried. I mean, I do it. I'm on like a casual because I like working more than looking for agents. I like acting.
That is
more
the
than
work.
looking for agents.
Acting is
I
the
end up
fun
look-
part. The
Yeah, but
work
then so
part
I-
is looking for agents.
Yeah, well,
Dude.
I mean, like I look for acting work more than I look for agents. You know
No,
what I mean?
I understand and appreciate that. I will say, and this is the other thing about doing work that you don't necessarily want, it isn't necessarily in your superpower of where you want to
Yeah.
be, is when you create a void, you will fill it. So if you increase your standards to say, okay, well, this is the work I want to be doing, and then you're not getting that work. If you're filling your time with all this other work that you don't, that's filler work, it's going to stop you from doing the stuff that you really should be doing, which is getting an agent or manager that can get you to that higher profile work. Because so what you're essentially doing is you're telling the universe that you want more of this junk work, because that's where you're putting your energy. So if you allow yourself to not have the junk work for a minute, you're going to get frustrated, and that's hopefully going to fuel your hunger, because hunger is the most important factor for success over talent is hunger. I mean, I suck as an actor, but the more hungry you are, the more you will go and put the effort in to get something. So I would probably recommend maybe upping your standards a little of what you want to do. So as obviously within the purview of being able to pay your bills, in order to create the lack of work that will piss you off enough to motivate you to go for get the agent and manager and prioritize it.
Yeah, I hear that and I understand what you're saying. I mean, it's the same thing with money, where like I've done this thing. I've now put all this money into this new nice gym because I'm like, no, I'm going to make the money to pay for this nice gym.
Manifest yourself. Yeah.
I am. I'm just going to.
Spend the money that I don't have now because I'll get the money back later. Yeah.
No, that makes sense. I got to tell you, I do 4 days a week in the gym, heavy weights, and it's the best thing you could possibly do for your life. Everything in your life is built on the foundation of your physical health. So like I know you probably haven't gotten anywhere near 40 yet, but as soon as a person hits 40, they have to do heavy weights.
Once I get to 40, I'll do it. I'll start doing it for sure.
But yeah, so anyway, I think the gym, I think it makes sense in that particular instance.
Or I think it's the mind I relate it to, and maybe it's different to this mindset you're talking about of setting a standard for yourself, and then you just need to meet that standard. There's not like a question of if, you have to. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, it's really important. And sometimes that takes saying no. I think one of the more powerful things you can do in your life and in your career is saying no.
Cool.
Wow.
Thanks for that wisdom. I will be thinking about that. Thanks, Kym.
Wow. Yeah. Kym, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
I feel like we could go on and on.
go on and on.
I mean, there's just so much to say. And of course, we're going to promote you and check out secretactorsociety.com.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, pick up that free, not you guys, but the people listening, pick up that free class. I swear to you, I was watching it the other day. I was like, did this class, like, was it any good? I started watching it. I was like, oh, damn, this is really good. I was like, wow.
Yeah, we'll definitely check it out on our end for sure. I'll tune in. I'm not too knowledgeable about the business not to learn more, I'm sure.
Because when I teach stuff, I'm like kind of channeling on, like, not channeling, but like I'm just kind of like the information is just flowing through me. And then I watch it back and I'm like, oh, that's a really good idea. I should totally do that.
I should do that myself.
She really knows what she's talking about.
Let me give you one last question before we go, because I'm kind of curious. Where, like, and maybe it ties into the rest of the training and stuff, but, the dream project, where do you see yourself in 10 years kind of thing? Like, what's the goal for Kym Jackson?
I love the careers of like Charlize Theron, and obviously, the Julianne Moores and the Meryl Streeps, but I would love to have a career like Adam Driver or Daniel Day-Lewis or Scarlett Johansson, where they're going from these really amazing indie, like not indies, but
quirky character stuff,
pieces, and then they go into the comedy and the more kind of quirky.
And they do the big budget, like,
and then they do the action
comic
movies,
book
Jurassic
action.
Parks, and so like I would love to have, because I love all that sci-fi stuff. I've been shooting guns since I was a kid. Like I was 8 years old. I was 12 when they asked me to be a range officer when I got older. Like I for me, I love the variety of it all. So for instance, there was one time when I played 3 Australian housewives in a row. Now I flew to Africa for one of them. I flew to Tasmania for another one. And I flew to Sydney for the third one, but it was 3 Australian housewives in a row. And I honestly wanted to kill myself. I was just like, nah, I can't do it. And they were quite good little scripts, but I need the variety. And that's why I'm a character actor. That's why I've never like played the pretty girl or whatever. Like I just, it's hard to compete in Hollywood as a pretty girl. Everyone's so beautiful. So you just go, okay, no. I'm going to low hanging fruit, the edgy girl. The Hollywood version of the edgy girl. And so, that would be my dream career. And to not, winning awards, not winning awards, that's so political, but to be nominated for some massive awards and acknowledged for my work at that level, to be nominated for Academy Awards, to be nominated for Emmys just makes me feel like, okay, then I'm kind of in the game. And even the nominations are political, but it would be cool to be in those rooms, to be at like those. I mean, I don't love awards shows in general when you're in the room, but like I would really love to kind of be in those rooms and at the Vanity Fair party and all that cool stuff. It sounds so fun. Like it's just like, it'd just be rad. And I would just be walking around going, oh my God, everyone's so famous. I want to meet them all.
So-and-so's in the corner. George Clooney's in the corner drinking an espresso.
Yeah, it's such a trip. Even at South by, I was at a party and Matthew McConaughey was there, and then like all these celebrities. You're just like, wow, like there's an energy. They walk into a room and the whole room, whether people physically turn or not, the energy of the room is just like at them. And I don't. Sounds confronting for me, but to be in those rooms is really fun.
Right. Same thing happens when Jay walks in a room. The energy changes.
Obviously. The one thing I will say, actors in their 20s, a lot of them are doing it for attention. Once you get to a certain point and you've had the attention because you've been on set and everyone's kind of, you first of all realize it's not attention on you. They're doing the hair, they're doing the makeup, they're doing the wardrobe. So it's not you. And also you just don't want it. Like you just like, it's a lot. It's a lot of energy and it's a lot of pressure and it's a lot of, you have to be nice. You have to be, and if you're in a character and you want to play, like I play a lot of really dark characters, and then you go out to like get lunch or get dinner on set and you want to be nice to the background actors and the crew and everything, but you're like trying to like, and it's hard.
Stay in character a bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. And then I couldn't imagine like walking down the street and people coming up and Like that sounds like my worst nightmare.
Yeah, like are you saying about like playing a villain or something of like truly not just like a Disney villain, but someone of actually really bad person and being confronted by people? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh no, I'm just saying
Just
like
being
in general, being
known.
famous would
Oh.
probably
Trying
be the
to
worst.
take your
part of
kid to
my
school
life.
and there's people.
I would,
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Well, because it's not like I love when I want to talk to people when I'm at a party. I love talking to people. I love meeting new people. I don't care about their status. I love getting to know people. But when I'm not in that mood, I don't like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're just trying to go to the post office or grab a coffee somewhere.
Yeah, dude. Like I'm an actor. I want to. I love acting because I love acting. There's a lot of people that want to be celebrities, and the reason I want success is so that I can get the better, juicier roles.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, that's a true actor.
Well, thank you.
Working and wealthy, not rich and famous. Kym, what a pleasure. Thank you so much. Glad to have you on the show. We'll let you go. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Cheers. Thanks so much. Wow. Jay.
Oh,
how was that?
That was
incredible.
Excellent.
Lots and lots to unpack.
Yeah, that was a lot. It was a lot. It was great. I know that her classes are going to be very informative. She has so much. Now I know why she had 30 people or whatever in her past reaching out to her, asking questions or asking for answers.
Like a wealth
she just had answers. She's like, oh, this.
Yeah.
Impressive.
She just gets out and does it too.
Yeah.
That's a good lesson for you.
Yeah.
I feel like we got a free lesson there in
Great.
acting. I'm a babe compared to that wellspring of knowledge and information.
Todd, you have your wellspring too. Don't you be
don't undermine my wellspring.
Don't undermine yourself. You have a lot. You really do. You really do. You really
Thank you, darling. Well, it's been a long show. I'm sure you're exhausted.
Yeah, hot and warm, but you know what?
Warm.
That's great. We love it.
Good stuff. Well, we'll put everything in the show notes. We're going to let everybody know about classes and links, and so check it out. She also wrote a book, by the way, called The Hollywood Survival Guide for Actors. So check out the book and check out Kym Jackson, and maybe we'll get her husband on next time or soon. That'd be great. Andrew Jackson. I think there was an Andrew Jackson once. He was quite famous. No, that's his name. Yeah. His name's not Andrew Jackson. His name's not Jackson. Just to clarify for the record. Andrew Jackson was a famous
This is the name of my high school, Jackson High School.
His name's Andrew Steele. Steele, yeah.
Oh.
You know, that's what happens when you get a name for yourself. You can't just marry somebody and then change your name. Yeah, Andrew Steele, which is probably made up too. Sure, it's
I mean that's
Andy Lipschitz or something from. You never know. Well, folks, thanks for listening.
Okay. Thank you.
Andrew Steele's gonna hate me at the end of this.
Are we gonna be able to get him on?
I don't know if we get him on. Come on, Andy, we love you. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to this episode of the Offstage Acting Podcast.
Yes. Thank you, and I hope you've learned as much as we did, because we learned a lot.
We learned a lot, and there's more to learn at the Secret Actors Society.
That's right.
.com. Did I say that right? We'll check you next time on the Offstage Acting Podcast. Take care.
Bye.
I work so hard on brevity, and then I just
I'm the same. I get told all the time, and I can't believe. And I just go, well, I'm saying important stuff.
I think I'm interesting.
You know what I mean? Like I'm interesting. I'm informative. It's important. So what's the problem?
You tell us about Andrew. I'm like, I'll give you our life story.
There we go. So Andrew was born in. No.